Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition? No,
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't?
You can't?
I can't.
She can't. Hey guys, study after study shows that if you want strong bones and muscles, healthy hair, skin, teeth, and nails, you need the 5 types of collagen in your diet. I get mine from BioTrust. I've got a link in the description with a massive discount, and it'll tell you all about it. I'm not going to give you my personal opinion with regard to this confirmation hearing for the new Supreme Court justice, but I do want to say that I think a judge anywhere, I don't care if it's a state judge, I don't care if it's a federal judge, I don't care if it's an appellate court, the Supreme Court, whatever, but it seems to me their only job is to dispense truth and justice. Whatever you do, make sure your decision is predicated on do to others what you would want done to you, or don't do to others what you wouldn't want done to you. Nobody has a higher claim over the life and property of others, and never initiate unjust force and violence on peaceful people who haven't done anything wrong. And I know that there are other issues that are civil matters and all that, but that's the justice side of it. The truth side of it is, how many genders are there? What is black? What is white? Is grass green? Is the sky blue? There are things that we can all agree on. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this slice of Supreme Court Justice nominee insanity.
Roe v. Wade, let's talk a little bit about that. It's come up touch today. In my opinion, that was an awful act of judicial activism and has cost the lives of over 63 million unborn children. And nearly 50 years later, this shameful ruling remains binding precedent, but the battle is being fought in the courts. And as you know, and as we discussed when we visited, the Supreme Court is reconsidering whether the Constitution protects the right to an abortion in Dobbs. And if you're confirmed, you will be in a position to apply the court's decision in Dobbs, whatever that decision is going to be. And you've talked about following precedent and what the court decides. So do you commit to respecting the court's decision if it rules that Roe was wrongly decided and that the issue of abortion should be sent back to the states?
Senator, whatever the Supreme Court decides in Dobbs will be the precedent of the Supreme Court. It will be worthy of respect in the sense that it is the precedent, and I commit to treating it as I would any other precedent of the
There's
Supreme
one other thing. One of the central issues in the Dobbs case is about whether the Constitution protects the right to an abortion. So let's talk about that. Can you explain to me on a constitutional basis the court's decision in Roe, and where is abortion protected in the Constitution?
Senator, abortion is a right that the Supreme Court has recognized is one of the kinds of rights that is unenumerated. Okay. It is in that same category of rights that the Supreme Court has recognized.
But the text of the Constitution does not mention abortion.
That is true.
That is true. That is correct. So you agree that the Constitution does not mention the right to an abortion, and yet, through one of the most brazen acts of judicial activism, our Supreme Court created the right through Roe v. Wade. This is why Americans, this is why so many women that I've talked to are really concerned about who sits on the federal bench. We need a justice who will adhere to the text of the Constitution. You've talked a little bit about that today as you talked about historical context. And they don't want justices who are going to invent rights out of whole cloth to serve a political interests. And a lot of parents that I work with every day, every week, don't have the funds to send their child to a private school. They're relying on the school systems, the public school systems, and it is important to them to have a Supreme Court that is going to protect parental rights to teach these children as parents see fit to have their children taught. And I will tell you too, with Georgetown Day School, I found it astounding that it teaches kindergartners, 5-year-old children, and I've got grandchildren, and they teach them that they can choose their gender. So is this what you were praising when you applauded the, and I'm quoting you, transformative power of Georgetown Day School's progressive education? Do you agree that our schools should teach children that they can choose their gender?
Senator, I'm not remembering exactly what quote you're referencing, but Georgetown Day School is
It was in a book, and you gave the quote. Okay.
Georgetown Day School is a private school.
Yes.
That.
Yeah, I'm asking, do you agree that schools should teach children that they can choose their gender?
Senator, I'm not making comments about
All right.
what schools can teach.
Let me ask you this then. United States versus Virginia, the Supreme Court struck down VMI's male-only admission policy. Writing for the majority, Justice Ginsburg stated, supposed inherent differences are no longer accepted as a ground for race or national origin classifications. Physical differences between men and women, however, are enduring. The two sexes are not fungible. A community made up exclusively of one sex is different from a community composed of both. Do you agree with Justice Ginsburg that there are physical differences between men and women that are enduring?
Senator, respectfully, I am not familiar with that particular quote or case,
Okay.
so it's hard for me to
Okay.
comment as to whether
All
or
right.
not.
I'd love to get your opinion on that, and you can submit that. Do you interpret Justice Ginsburg's meaning of men and women as male and female?
Again, because I don't know the case, I don't know how I interpret it. I need to read the whole
Okay.
thing. You know,
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
can I provide a definition?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't?
Not in
Okay.
this context.
So you
I'm not a
believe the meaning
biologist.
of the word woman is so unclear and controversial that you can't give me a definition?
Senator, in my work as a judge, what I do is I address disputes. If there's a dispute about a definition, people make arguments, and I look at the
All right.
law and I decide. So I'm not.
The fact that you can't give me a straight answer about something as fundamental as what a woman is underscores the dangers of the kind of progressive education that we are hearing about. Just last week, an entire generation of young girls watched as our taxpayer-funded institutions permitted a biological man to compete and beat a biological woman in the NCAA swimming championships. What message do you think this sends to girls who aspire to compete and win in sports at the highest levels?
Senator, I'm not sure what message that sends. If you're asking me about the legal issues related to it, those are topics that are being hotly discussed, as you say, and
Right.
could come to the court. So I'm not
And
able to.
I think it tells our girls that their voices don't matter, I think it tells them that they're second-class citizens, and parents want to have a Supreme Court justice who is committed to preserving parental autonomy and protecting our nation's children. I find the discussion that you made, the distinction you made between pedophiles who produce child pornography and those who are only collectors to be one without a difference. You said, and I'm quoting you, that it was a mistake to assume that child pornography offenders are pedophiles. Do you believe that it matters to the children and their parents who suffer abuse, what motivation those abusers had?
Thank you, Senator. As you said, and as I've said, these cases are among the most difficult
They are.
for judges who have to deal with the evidence, judges who, like me, are
My
parents.
question, Judge, do you think it matters to the kids and their parents, the motives of the abuser, of the pornographer?
Senator, it does not matter
Okay.
to the victims in these cases what the motivation is. The quote, I'm not exactly sure where it came from. I know that what Senator Cruz showed me before was questions that I was asking in the context of a hearing to.
Okay, well, I've got some serious concerns about that.
It might be a good idea while you still can to convert your fiat currency notes into long-term storable food. Use my link in the description and get $100 off instantly for this survival food. Do it while you still can because, guys, I cannot guarantee that they're going to have this available in the future.